I think most homeless people noticed the change quite soon on the streets of London. I mean, we found that people weren't bumping into us looking at their mobile phones anymore. Well, the social distancing thing is not hard for homeless people to adhere to because we are distanced from society anyway. Society distance itself from us. We've probably, the least likely group to have it. The only thing that's difficult for us now is obviously we have to find food, and food's in fewer and fewer places. My aims on the beginning of this year was that this time next year I would have bought myself a second-hand cabin cruiser to live on the canal. I mean, I don't know whether that's even possible anymore because a lot of the things that I worked with to earn money may not be happening this year. I don't know yet. The worst thing you can have when you're homeless is to be ill of any kind. Definitely something like a tummy upset. So most homeless people like myself are very, very aware of cleanliness. As to getting advice about the latest information, well, that is a problem because we don't have access to easy charging. But if I run low on batteries on my phone or my computer, I have no access to any information whatsoever or the latest news. It's even more word of mouth than it ever was. And there again, this is a major problem for people to try and solve. As far as my understanding goes, the handouts and the homeless services are actually exempt from the lockdown because it's obviously critical that you get food and water. Water's becoming a particular problem. Most places have decided, instead of having any problems at all or any question marks about whether they're doing the right thing or not, they've decided that they are just going to close. There are, as I say, 3 or 4 places where they've been brilliant. So though they've changed how they operate, they haven't stopped feeding us and taking care of us and doing as much as they can, and even extending their hours and days, which has been, without that, you wouldn't be watching me talk to you here. There's been a big thing in the press that we've all been given hotel rooms. Well, if we have been given hotel rooms, and I know a few people that have, they're not being fed. What the deal is that you have a hotel room, but you can't self-isolate because you have to leave the hotel room to look for food. And myself, I gave my details following the police and the warden's advice last week to the local outreach team. They promised to get back to me. They said they didn't have a hotel available. So yes, there is virtually no support other than the 4 places now that I'm relying upon for food and showers. There's one place that will do a little item of washing for you, so washing is a problem. 6:40 a.m. I've been up for about 20 minutes. The reason why most homeless people don't do what I've just done and speak to the outreach teams and end up in a place like this is that by the time I got here at about 11:30, I've only had about 4 or 5 hours sleep, whereas where I would sleep on the street would give me a nice 8 hours. The government supposedly have given millions that they can put people in hotel rooms, but this is not a hotel. I have a one-night ticket, which I'm leaving today, which actually pleases me. It is really, really a lovely room, and the big plus that I am quite knocked out about is it is run extremely well. As much as I'm happy with everybody that's managed to get me here, I have been quite proactive, definitely in the last few weeks, to actually get a hotel room. Because if this is a crisis, if you're taking 5 weeks to sort me out and I've been very proactive, then I don't think that's great. I come back to this other thing that's been driving me mad is nobody seems to be thinking about feeding us. You need to be well fed for your body to function, for your body to have any defences. I think feeding us has been like 5th on the list. If it wasn't for the Salvation Army at Chalk Farm, the Camden Council letting them open 10 to 2, and if it wasn't for St Patrick's Soho Square and the American church that really did plough on feeding us, I wouldn't have made the 3 weeks to have got a to start pushing myself hard to get a hotel room, and I wouldn't have made the 5 weeks to be here. So I think there's a lot of things that need to be organised. I know pandemics of any kind is not good. From the damage it not only does obviously to you biologically and the people that suffer and die, but also what it does to the financial systems and everything else around the world. So how we're going to come out of this and what will be life the other side of it is a big question mark at the moment.